To make this straight line soap, you're going to need some cocoa powder for a colorant and a slow moving recipe. I'll put my recipe in the description of this video. So I'm just mixing it until you can't see the oils on the top anymore. See how these are all fluid? Here's the fragrance. So we don't want to add it quite yet. So our first one's just going to be white. And this way we can measure out these 2 cups with more cocoa powder. So what you're going to want to do is mix the color that you're using. Like this is not even at trace yet. So you just want to mix it until it light trace and then pour it, let it lay flat, let it set up. And then what you'll do is continuously just stir these so they don't set up. I'm probably getting some major bubbles in there. Okay, so I'm just trying to see if that's light trace, which it is getting light trace. Okay. Just gonna crank this up just a little bit. Okay, there we go. I can feel it now. And you can almost hear it the more your thing gets set up. Pour about 1/3 of it in there, what we're going to be using. Haven't used much fragrance. I've always scented with essential oils, so, and it's already doing some weird shit. It's like, I guess that's what you would call ricing. Yeah, I'm not sure what those white specks are in there, but we're gonna go with it. So if you can see that in there, yeah, I'm not sure why that fragrance oil did that. So, but I wonder if I should hit it once with my mixer just to grind it up. I'm not sure why it's doing that. And I'm just going to put on my low setting again and just try to mix that, whatever that is, up. There, I think I got rid of them, other than what's on the spatula. So we might have to do that every time, mix the fragrance in there before and then mix it in like that. Like I said, I haven't used much fragrance oil, so I need to get it inside the mold so it still lays flat. So try not to screw around like I'm doing. Get it in there as soon as possible when it's still pretty liquid, so you can get it flat. You only be able to smack it probably on your first layer. And like I said, just continuously come in and stir these so that they don't set up. I don't know if you can see what I just did. I added it to this mesh. And that's really not that flat. It was set up a little bit more, but that's okay. So you want to look for it to still look wet. If it starts looking dry, you added way too much. You don't really need that much. If you put on too much, your soap will break in half. So it's nice just to stay nice and light on it. And it kind of makes a mess here, but then we're gonna let that set up, and you'll kind of see that shine go away once it's already setting up. So let's let it set up a little bit longer. And then these two colors, I'm just gonna mix my colors because cocoa powder don't speed up trace. And I'm gonna do a teaspoon and then 2 teaspoons. And you'll have to work the clumps out for a little bit. Oh, I probably should have saved some for the top to do a swirl. Some white. Let me find another little container to put a little bit of white in. Now I'm put 2 in this one. So you should mix it before, but best advice is just take it, smack it along the side, and just keep working it. Cocoa powder doesn't clump up as bad as like charcoal and other colorants, so it likes to dissolve in there a little bit better. Sometimes they'll float to the bottom. Just look for chunks. So if you don't have access to plant colorants, and George out of India is the best that I've ever used. You can start off with cocoa powder. It's not scratchy. Turmeric is scratchy, and it fades. It's horrible. Turmeric doesn't. And a lot of those green plants, they'll fade the greens off of it. So if you're planning on making green soap, the best to do is get a natto seed and some indigo, and make an oil infusion. And see, it ain't jigging. If you look at it, it's still shiny, but not as shiny. So it's ready for the second layer to be poured. So I'm gonna add a little bit of this fragrance. And it's gonna do some weird stuff like it did last time. Oh. Yeah, it just kind of, see how it's going white? It's doing weird. Like I said, I made 1 batch of soap with fragrance oil, and that was like a couple weeks ago. Now I'm like, I don't know. I might have wanted to clean that spatula off, so I don't get the chunks. Ooh, this might not be good. So we're just gonna go with that. And get that out of there and clean it off so that I don't get those chunks in the last part of it. This is at light trace. And that's what you want. You don't want it too thick or it won't sit level. So you want to put down your spatula. I'm gonna use this bigger one. And put it right above where you're pouring so it don't break through. It ain't gonna break through on this anyway. It's set up pretty good, but just So it's fairly flat. Maybe a little thinner next time. Yeah, I can see a big bubble right there. That's okay. It's got a bunch of bubbles. Make sure I don't have those white specks. That was weird. Nope, I don't see any anyway. So this will be the last layer. See how it's just sitting right on top there? That's why you hold your spatula like that. So just kind of smack it nicely. I'm just swirling the top. Next time I'll just leave it because I ended up beveling most of it off. This is the next day, and I did force gel inside the oven. This is the cut. And what you'll notice about cocoa powder is it'll get darker once it cures. Just look at the color right there on the edge, and that's the color that it'll turn. Now I'm just cleaning up the edges with the soap router. I do make and sell these. I'll put a link in the description of this video. I'm taking a little bit of the scraps, I'm working it, and then I did stamp these. Press it inside where the stamp is. Scrape off the excess. And then I'm just going to take a beveler and just scrape a tiny little sliver off. And that's it. Thanks for watching.